Hello, so this video is about getting weird with MLA citation. If you're at all familiar with MLA citation, then you're probably familiar with this type of citation. It's called a parenthetical citation because it puts information in parentheses toward the end of a sentence. Often, that information is the author's last name and the page number that the information can be found on. It points the reader to a corresponding works cited list entry that also begins with the author's last name. But not every source has just one author. For example, this article from a sociology journal has 3 authors, and some sources don't have any authors. This dictionary definition of the word shampoo, for example. And not every useful source is a book or website or an article. What about YouTube videos and the cover art for Kirby and the Forgotten Land, or some jars of an artist's fingernails and hair that she's been collecting since 1985 and putting in a museum in New York? Well, there are ways to cite all of those things, which is probably why the official MLA guide is 400 pages long. But we obviously don't have time to go over how to cite every single source in this video. What's most important, probably, is that you know where to get the answers. The official answers can be found in the MLA handbook, which you could buy, or you could find it in just about any college library for free. The MLA website also has lots of advice. For a quick overview of MLA style rules, you can also check out the Purdue OWL website, which is my first stop when I have questions about how to format things, to be honest. And if you want guidance from a human being, you can talk with your instructor, librarian, or writing center tutor. And there are websites that aim to simplify the process of creating a works cited page entry by having you type in information about the source, as well as some databases that provide works cited page entries for you. Both of these methods of creating works cited page entries, though, are prone to error, so you should still know enough about MLA to be able to double check the citations that they give you. Okay, so let's talk about some common weird types of citations. First, what if there's no author? In the in-text citation, you tell the reader the author's last name, either in parentheses or just mention it in the paragraph. That would tell the reader where to look in the list of works cited. But if there's no author, that seems like it would mess everything up. In general, the way to deal with this issue is, if there's no author, you can just move on to the next piece of information in the works cited list. So this page on a website doesn't have an author. The next piece of information in the works cited entry is the title of the web page. So that's what goes first in the works cited entry, and that's the information you need to tell the reader in the in-text citation so that they'll know where to look in the list of works cited at the end of the essay. So a reader familiar with MLA will see this title in parentheses and know to look alphabetically in the list of works cited to find more detailed information about the source. Another common issue is that there's more than one author. The rule here is that if there are 2 authors, you list both of them. Pretty straightforward. The parenthetical in-text citation will look like this. Or, if you want to mention the author's names in your text without using parentheses, you can. Either way, the works cited list entry will begin with the first author's last name. The second author's name is written the normal way, first name, last name. If there are 3 or more authors, a different rule applies. Now, you list only the first author's name and you replace the other authors' names with et al., which is an abbreviation for the Latin phrase et alia, which means and others. So, a parenthetical in-text citation will look like this. Without the parentheses, it might look like this. And the works cited entry will look like this. So to review, there are tons of rules about how to cite different kinds of sources. Go to the MLA handbook and website for the most reliable information about MLA style. You can also check out Purdue OWL. Ask your professor, librarian, or tutor if you have questions. Double-check citations you create using citation generators, or citations that are created for you in databases. If a source doesn't have an author, rely on the next piece of information in the works cited entry to cite the source. The title of an article or website, for example. If there are two authors, use both authors' names to cite the source. If there are 3 or more authors, only name the first author and replace the other authors' names with the phrase et al. So that's an introduction to some weird types of MLA citations. I hope it was helpful. I know it's complicated, but remember the resources you can turn to, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Feel free to check out the other videos in this series if you want to learn more about citation, and take care. Bye.